Right, so we have here titanium white, raw umber, cerulean blue, and ultramarine violet. This is for the background. I'm using a kind of medium size, not too big. This is number 8 brush, flat or bright. And I'm going to take white. Okay, dip my brush in water. So enough white for me here. I take raw umber. I don't want the background to be too dark. So raw umber, just a bit of raw umber in there. Don't put too much. Cerulean, a bit of cerulean, because when you put touches like small amount of paint in there, it's easy to control. You want to make it lighter, you want to make it darker, you know, it's easier. So when you put a big blob of a color in there, sometimes it takes too much paint to adjust it. Now, after doing this, and why I'm using these colors, I'm trying to have a neutral background, interesting neutral background for this project. The one that I see in the reference, I like it. It's more on the ultramarine violet, kind of more on the purple side. We can do that, but again, I'd rather have a more interesting color. So I'm using cerulean blue because the cerulean blue is in here. So I'm trying to take a bit of that color and keeping it there. Now I'm going to take ultramarine violet. Now ultramarine violet is transparent. It's not a harsh, strong color. So it's a good color to use. Yep, I think it's good. It needs to be neutral. I'm adding a touch of ultramarine violet here. That's beautiful color here. Really nice. Might increase the amount of the blue, maybe a bit more blue next to the bottle up here. It will connect with the blue of the cap, or what is it called? Finial, I don't know.
I just call it a stopper. I don't know.
Stopper, yeah. It would just connect a bit with the color. So I'm adding a touch of cerulean blue in there. It would just make it more interesting. It's nice when you're painting something like that to see different shades of colors in there, you know, instead of having one strong color. Because we're not really painting a wall. We are painting a canvas. So that's nice. There. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to add more ultramarine violet at the bottom. I like to, when I'm doing something like this, I always like to darken my color a bit at the bottom. It just anchors the object that you're painting. So you have here, I increased the amount of ultramarine violet. My brush still has the color on that I'm using for the background, but when I got to the bottom part, I just added a bit more ultramarine violet and cerulean. There.
Are you opaque or more a little bit transparent?
Opaque, opaque, opaque.
When I transfer that, couldn't show up.
Opaque, but if you find that your brush is not sliding easily, you know, the color is not smooth enough, add a bit of water.
No, not yet.
Now I'm starting to go up with my brush strokes, with my paint. So I'm going to go back to the lighter color. And if you get different colors in there, that's okay. That's good. That's not, you know, don't try to match too much. Blend in here, trying to blend a bit. There. Okay. Let it dry, because when it dries with acrylics, the color settles, and then you'll see if you need to adjust the color of the background or the brush strokes. So let it dry and we'll see how it goes. Good.
What brush?
Sorry, go ahead. Ask me the question. You were going to ask.
Brush are you using?
I'm using exactly the same colors I used for the background.
Mhm.
For that background, the colors I have here. And I just added a touch of raw umber and a bit of cerulean in there, just to make it a bit darker. And we'll see. I'm going to try and I'll see if it works. Okay.
And
So
what
I'm
size
taking,
brush? You're using a round?
yes, I'm using a medium size round. Because with glass, with reflections, you want it to be, and it's not very, it's not opaque. The color is not too heavy, not too thick. So I'm going to start with first layer. You know, put a bit of water in my color.
Should this
And-
color be a wee bit darker than the background or a wee bit lighter?
Right now, it might look exactly the same.
Okay.
And we're just putting the first layer. I just want to put, it cannot be done with one layer. It has to be done with a couple. I will adjust that. But before I do adjust any adjustments, I just need to put one color first for now here. Okay. And if you see your, if you see the color underneath color, which is the purple, the primed color, that's okay. Don't try to cover it too much. Transparency is extremely important in drawing glass, painting glass. Okay.
Okay.
All right. That's a good color. That's good. Now, getting to so what I did is I ignored these lines in here. I ignored them. All I'm doing is I'm just putting first layer. And don't push your color all the way down. Just make sure that it's feathered at the bottom when you get to this, because we're changing color here. Now, this part, I'm going to take a bit more raw umber in the same batch of color that I created for the background. And it's not very thick. I'm going to go in. That needs a bit of, I need to darken it a bit. I'm using raw umber. No matter what you do, it doesn't matter. Don't worry, because we can go over that many times and adjust. Go back to cerulean a bit. A bit of cerulean in here. Mix, blend, blend. So you get that very soft edge. Okay, so right here where I have raw umber in here, raw umber and of course white and the colors we were using for the background. I increase the amount of raw umber, and then I'm taking a bit of cerulean, putting it in here too. So for this part, I'm going to simplify what we're seeing in there. Okay, I'm going to simplify what we're seeing in the reference. So now it's general. We have no reflections. We don't have to worry about any of that for now. I'm just looking at it with just a, oops, sorry. I'm just looking at it with the general colors. Bit of cerulean in there. Change the color into cerulean on this side. Adding more cerulean instead of raw umber. Raw umber is a good color for this, for something like this, because it has green in it. And we are going to be switching slowly to the green of the olive oil.
What color are you using? Just right there on the right-hand side.
This one here, I
Yes.
just
is it-
picked up the raw umber mixed with the background color. Raw umber, this is the background color
No.
right here, and this is a bit of raw umber in there, more raw umber in it. And then I'm just adding this in here, there. But increase the amount of raw umber a bit.
Put some money in your purse as well.
Well, thank you.
You put some money in your purse. You're a lucky girl.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know the mute was off.
You look like you're adding more white now to it.
It has a bit, it picks up, it doesn't matter. It picks up whatever you pick up from the background color.
I'll
No.
drop my purse off this afternoon.
My husband told me to tell you that there's just no money left now.
Right, so now I picked up a bit of cadmium yellow light, just a bit, touch, and I'm going to take that cadmium yellow light. Mix a bit of that cadmium yellow light with the cerulean blue, and put raw umber in there, touch of raw umber. So my raw umber is kind of more on the green side. I'm gonna put it here. I need more yellow. It needs to be more on the green side. And that needs white. Let's see. I'm trying to adjust the color. So I'm bringing in raw umber. That's better. White, touch of white. Adjust it. Ah, good. Just here.
I was behind you a smidge when you were adding that yellow. Where on the picture were you putting yellow?
In here, in that area. Yellow,
Uh-huh.
cerulean blue,
Uh-huh.
raw umber, and white.
Okay. What color yellow?
Cadmium yellow light.
Right.
Again, like I said, don't worry if you get like too green, too whatever, it doesn't matter at this point because we're going to go over that.
Okay.
So now for this step, which is glazing this area here, I'm going to, I'm mixing the same colors that I mixed for the background. White, raw umber, cerulean blue, and ultramarine violet. But what I'm doing is I'm increasing the amount of cerulean blue and ultramarine violet. And there, I can see it. I want this to be slightly darker than the background. Yep, that's perfect. So I'm going to wipe my brush because I want a glaze. I don't want it to be thick. Aha, there. And again, I will adjust it if I feel after. I'm going over that reflection too. So don't worry, go over that reflection. This is slightly lighter, maybe. There, good.
It's looking very gray. The color.
My color, it's because, I think it's because, you know, when you use raw umber with your color, with white, you gray colors, whatever you add in there, you gray them down, you tone them down with that raw umber.
So you're going over everything with that color.
Yes, that's why I'm saying it's a glaze. It's not heavy. It's perfect right now. That's it. That's all.
When you say a glaze, you're adding water.
A touch of water, just a bit, and I wipe my brush here. So it's kind of the color is there, but it's not watery and it's not heavy.
Okay.
There. So with the glaze, what happens is I use the color of the background. I made it slightly darker, adding cerulean blue and ultramarine violet. a bit more, like made the consistency of the color a little bit kind of watery, not much, just a bit, not opaque. Then I wipe my brush a bit over, not like wipe it like this, just kind of soft, removed excess paint, went over the whole thing, put the paint over everything like that. Now, because the paint is not opaque, when it dries, the colors underneath that we put already are going to show through. But they're not going to show through strong. It will be a soft. Now, it's dry. Okay, kind of, it's drying. So the more with acrylics, it dries darker, which is fine. I'm going to take a bit of white, put it in here, in the same mixture I used, okay? Same dark kind of, when I, used that for this here. Now, again, gently wipe, gently. And I'm gonna come here.
So you added white.
Yep, touch of white into that same mixture. Touch of white. There. I'm starting slowly to get to see the color of the background showing through in here, but slightly darker. Don't take it all the way down, just at the neck of that bottle. Okay, this color I'm using right now is just white and a bit of cerulean blue in it. And you see, as soon as we start putting reflections, it will look like glass. This is drying very dark right now, right here. So I'm going to highlight it again slowly. I'm going to take here, Wash my brush, dry it, pick up some white into the same mixture of the background, just increase the amount of white. Touch of ultramarine violet in there. Wipe my brush. This is our like very soft glazing in here. And because it's acrylics, it dries darker. I have to keep on adjusting my values in here and my colors. Okay, pick up a bit of white. Because I'm putting that, I'm trying to highlight this area, but it keeps going darker.